For schoolgirls in green skirts held a secret that could destroy a man and change their school forever. When silence became too heavy to carry, they chose courage over fear, and sparked a movement no one saw coming. It was just after lunch when the 4 girls gathered behind the classroom block, away from the teacher's eyes. The sun was hot, the air thick with silence and secrets. Their green skirts fluttered slightly in the breeze, but their faces were cold and unreadable. Ada lit a cigarette with steady hands, passing it to Tonia, who took a slow drag and exhaled without flinching. Beside them, Zara adjusted her tie, her eyes sharp, always watching. The 4th girl, Mimi, stood slightly apart, her hands cradling her pregnant belly. She didn't speak much anymore. Once they had been inseparable, best friends since JSS1, but things had changed. Rumors had spread like wildfire. Pregnancy, stolen exam answers, and late-night parties. The school authorities were watching, but the girls didn't care. Or at least they pretended not to. "We need to talk," Zara said, finally breaking the silence. Her voice was low but firm. Mimi looked up, eyes full of fear. Ada raised an eyebrow. Tonia took another drag. Whatever was coming next, it wouldn't just shake their friendship. It would expose everything. Zara stepped closer, her voice sharper this time. "Mimi, whose is it? We need the truth." Mimi hesitated, her fingers tightening around her belly. She glanced at the ground, heart pounding. The other girls stared, waiting, judging, worried. "It's Mr. Okoro," she whispered. The words fell like a bomb. "What?" Ada shouted, stepping back. "Our economics teacher?" Mimi nodded, tears threatening. "He said he'd fail me if I didn't, and then promised to take care of everything, but now he won't even talk to me." Tonia dropped her cigarette, suddenly pale. "This is serious, Mimi. If the school finds out, if anyone finds out, he'll lose his job. You'll be expelled." Zara folded her arms. "We're not going to let this go. This isn't just your problem. It's happening to others too. We've heard things. It's time someone does something." Ada bit her lip. "You mean report him?" Zara nodded slowly. "Together, or not at all." Mimi looked at her friends. 3 girls she once laughed with, now standing like warriors beside her. For the first time in weeks she didn't feel alone. The bell rang in the distance, but something deeper had already been set in motion. That evening, the girls met in the abandoned library behind the school. It was quiet, dusty, and perfect for what they needed: privacy. Tonia brought an old notebook, and Zara had her phone set to record. "If anything happens," Zara said, "we have proof." Mimi was nervous, her hands shaking as she described everything. The threats, the promises, the moments that still haunted her dreams. Ada wrote it all down while Tonia listened, jaw clenched. Every word made the truth heavier. "We take this to the principal first thing tomorrow," Zara said. "Together." "But what if they don't believe us?" Mimi asked. "They will," Ada replied. "And if they don't, we go hire parents, the board, even the press if we have to." Silence followed, but it wasn't fear anymore. It was resolve. The next morning, the 4 girls stood at the principal's office door, their green skirts perfectly ironed, their faces calm but unshaken. Inside that file in Zara's hand was more than evidence. It was courage, truth, and the beginning of change. They knocked. This time they wouldn't be ignored. The principal listened in stunned silence as the girls laid everything bare. He reviewed the notebook, listened to the recording, and sat back, his face a mask of disbelief and shame. "This is serious," he finally said. "You did the right thing by coming here." Within hours, Mr. Okoro was summoned and suspended pending investigation. Word spread fast, first among teachers, then the students. Whispers turned into outrage. Some girls came forward with similar stories. What started as one voice became many. Mimi stayed quiet through it all, but her eyes held something new: relief. By the end of the week, the school board had launched a formal inquiry. Counselors were brought in. Policies were reviewed. For the first time, students were truly heard. Outside, life went on. Classes resumed, bells rang, but something had changed. The 4 girls still walked together, but now heads were raised higher. They weren't just students anymore. They were survivors, leaders. As they passed the courtyard one afternoon, Mimi smiled faintly. "Thank you," she said. Zara squeezed her hand. "You gave us the reason." The wind stirred their green skirts as they walked on, together, fearless and unbroken. Weeks passed. The investigation concluded. Okoro was dismissed, arrested, and charged. His name, once feared in whispers, was now printed in headlines. Teacher exploits student. Brave girls speak out. The school community was shaken, but change followed. A new female counselor was hired. Anonymous reporting systems were introduced. During morning assembly, The principal praised the courage of a group of students who reminded us all that silence protects no one. Mimi, once the quietest of the four, began speaking during girls' forums. Her belly now rounder, she no longer hid in shame. Instead, she stood as proof of truth, strength, and second chances. Zara, Ada, and Tonia each found their voices in different ways. Zara joined the student council, Ada started writing for the school paper, and Tonia began a campaign against harassment, earning respect even from teachers. Their bond had been tested, but it held, stronger than ever. One sunny afternoon, the four sat under their favorite tree laughing, really laughing, for the first time in months. "It's over," Mimi whispered. Zara shook her head gently. "No, it's just the beginning." And as the sun dipped below the rooftops, they knew they had done something bigger than themselves. They had changed everything.